Okay, everyone, we're back. This is an example of your circle loom, having finished your concentric circles, having finished all of the pattern, and the notches are all cut in it. So we're still working on adding our pattern. So I pulled this one out. Alright, so we're going to switch to smaller brushes also. These small brushes will give you a variety of different kinds and sizes of lines and shapes. So here's our biggest one. Then we've got another one. These are my brushes. These are not going to be the same ones you're going to use at school. Yours will probably have black handles. These are just the ones that I have in my studio here. This is a nice flat brush, which can give you some other really interesting patterns. And here's a little baby one, a little tiny one that I like just because it gives you lots of little details in it. So those are our brushes to choose from. Like I said before, each of the brushes has a color, and they stay with the colors. If you happen to, mix it up and you put it in the wrong color, just let me know. Raise your hand really quick. We'll get you another brush. So, and try to share your brushes. And if for any reason all of you want to use the pink at the same time, why don't you think about trying some other colors in between? 'Cause there's 4. If it's a real problem, then maybe we can go ahead and do your have a couple more brushes of each color. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the blue. I'm going to use this really funky little flat one, and I hope my paint hasn't dried out too much, because I did this a while ago, because my camera ran out of batteries, so I had to go buy batteries. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to start off with those. I'm going to try and do similar patterns that you saw before. So I'm going to start off with the circles, the big blue circles, and I'm just going to spin my brush around. Just remember that the more you actually scrub on here or rub on it or paint on it, you might actually pick up some of the color from below, because really tempera paint is water soluble, so it will mix with water, and there's water in your paint. I love patterns. They're my favorite part of painting. So anyway, here's some patterns, big blue dots. Remember to do the center. It will show through. Even though your weaving is right in the center, you are going to see underneath it. You don't do your weaving all the way out to the edge, but you can still see under a good portion of it. Alright, let's see. And maybe one more. How about that? It's kind of off center. I kind of like it off center, but maybe I'll do another one anyway. There. So my blue's done. Now on our last example, or the example that you just saw, I had pink zigzags. So I'm going to go with this brush. I'm going to do some zigzags, pink zigzags in the yellow. And so we're going to go zig and zag, and zig, load it up, turn and zag. I like to move my plate around when I'm doing pattern rather than, always having my hand do the moving around. I think I like to paint, in certain parts of my loom better than others, so by turning it I still have that advantage of staying in those areas. Now, if you notice when you're painting, you load your brush up. You're not going to get it up to the silver part on here, the metal part. You don't really need to, because you can't paint with that part anyway. And it's better not to get it all the way up in here. If your paint dries in here, it makes your brush spread out, so you don't have those nice points later. So I just dip it in at the tip, and once you are painting, you just take your brush, put it down, and then drag it, or whatever brush stroke you're going to use, because the paint just comes right off your brush. And if you wanted a nice kind of edge like I want on this zigzag, the best thing is to let the paintbrush create that straight edge for me. Oh, ran out of paint there. Guess I dipped it in the wrong place. So here we go, some more. And take your time. You don't have to clutter all of this up with lots and lots and lots of patterns. You can have simple patterns. Remember, you're going to be weaving, you're going to be adding beads, so we don't want everything, you know, so busy. But I do love pattern, and weaving is all about pattern right from the get-go, so it's a fun project. I'm glad I found this. Alright, almost to the end. And remember, you don't have to do the same patterns as me. I'm just doing this same one as the one I just showed you, just because I want some consistency when we see the other finished examples. So, anyway, I'm going to switch to yellow. Oh, where's that brush? Rolled away. I'm going to get the yellow. The yellow is really kind of what's called transparent. You can kind of see through it a bit more than some of the other colors. So, I'm going to start on here. I'm going to just come up onto the blue and kind of give it a little space. Come up on the blue. And I am turning it. I'm still spacing it out a bit. This one I think I'll go back and give it a little more right on the end there. Good. And another one here. And you can see how transparent that yellow is. It's also the kind of tempera paint that I'm using. It's just not it's not a real opaque yellow. I think it's the washable yellow. So I'll try and find the other. Sometimes if yellow is too transparent, you can always add some white to it. It doesn't really change the color of it too much, but it does make it less see-through, which is kind of good. Do I want 2 or 1? I'm going to just go with 1. There. So now I've got some orange left to do. Let's see, get my orange brush out here. And I'm going to make little dashes in here. You also have to, watch that you're not going to drag your hand across your paints. I like to paint my patterns kind of thick so that I don't have to do them a second time. Because you remember, acrylic paint does dry a little lighter. At least this is on top of a color. It's not going to absorb into the plate like the first round of concentric circles did. But I like my stuff bright. So if I felt when it was dry that my patterns needed to hit them a second time, I'm making fairly simple patterns, so any one of these I could actually go over it a second time. And I'm not just sort of whipping through here really fast, random shots. I'm kind of planning it out, but that's the kind of painter I am. This is kind of how I do things. So you may want to paint a little quicker, you may want to be a little freer. It's your painting, but just be thoughtful about whatever it is that you're doing. Alright, so I'm going to go back and grab some blue again, and I'm going to finish off the top with blue. I'm kind of surprised my cat hasn't come to visit. When I was painting earlier today, she was very interested in this, and I guess she's waiting for the yarn step, which cats love yarn. Right now she's sleeping right behind me, so I shouldn't be talking about her. Anyway, there we go. We're all done. Good luck on your pattern. Remember, it's my favorite part. I love, love, love it, so have fun with it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So, thanks.